Hi everybody, in this episode we're going to repot a Princess Persimmon. Hi everybody, welcome back. So it is winter time here in Southern California. You can tell it's cold to me. I'm wearing a beanie, which I'm always cold, so it doesn't really matter. It's a rainy day for the last, I think, good 2 weeks. It's been raining, so unusual in Southern Cal, so I'm indoors. But it's a great time right now to do some repotting, especially if you're on break like I am as a school teacher. This is a great time to do some repotting. In this case, I'm going to repot a Princess Persimmon. If you know, I've been collecting these things for a while now, and it's time to repot this guy. So we're going to do that basic process. I'm going to switch the camera around. I'm going to do more of a point of view, and it's be more of a refresher course for some of you guys. If you never repotted Princess Persimmon, it's really different than, well, it's not really different. It's more hardy, as I can say, for Princess Persimmon to repot it. And I'll show you that process in this video. So please join us. All right, we're back again. Thank you, everybody. So if I switch to the point of view mode here, it's just a little bit easier for, so you can see what I'm doing here versus a third person view. So here's our specimen. Today is a Princess Persimmon. This is been growing most likely for about 5 years now. It was a root cutting. This was actually a root cutting at one point, grew out the top. And then, again, it's from Ed Clark. So, you know, this is 322, and this is what we call the red berry one. And if I get a chance, I'll take a photo of the red berries, or you've seen it before. But this is that same variety. The front is going to be right around here just because of the movement and the taper. It's actually the best here. I just got to bend that branch that way, and I can reshape the canopy during springtime when this is actually pushing. Right now it is fully dormant. You can tell these, I'm going to save these guys back here. I'm going to probably wire these guys up and then save those as root cuttings. Some basic tools that you'll need. You need a stick of some sort to really push that dirt in, or the soil, excuse me. Some type of root cutters if you have some. A pair of scissors you don't really care for. These are my my root cutting ones, or my heavy duty work ones. A root hook of some sort. Unfortunately, I have lost 2 root hooks already. Root hooks, excuse me, already. I actually threw them away by accident in the pile of dirt. And that's what happens when you're rushing and repotting. So I'm doing this indoors, so it's a little more ease for me. A wire cutter, and I just have to have this one. And a pair of pliers so I can pull those wire. Of course, you'll need some tie-down wires. I get some really cheap, thin aluminum wires I had left over. And of course you need a pot. Okay, so the pot's really right here. I'm going to use, most likely this is BK. Yes, I bought this for $10, believe that or not. That's a BK pot. If you don't believe me, there's this chop right there. This was actually found at one of the Huntington Library. Actually, no, this was the GSBF sale in the Huntington Library about 2 years ago. Actually, no, 2019, right before we shut down the pandemic. This is one of those amazing pots. And then I have this other one. I'm not even sure what this one is, but it's another old pot. I like a little deeper pot just because I'm going to grow this out to be a shohin, or therefore of one of them. So I'm going to use the BK pot. I thought this is just a beautiful shape. Of course, you need your screen. And then you need some tie-down material. So tie-downs, or not tie-downs, these screen holders, there's a lot of debate what you use with. Just put it in somehow. There's like a right way and a wrong way, and this is actually the wrong way. And you know, just have the discussion with Lindsay and other people. You want the loop section to be at the bottom. So when you put your finger in it, you're not jamming your finger, because when you hold the pot, you know, you're putting your finger underneath, you're not jamming it in your things. Reason why I put it this way, just because the loop actually sticks out of the bottom of the pot and kind of raises the pot a little bit. So that's why I did it this way. Initially, the right way of doing it, technically, it's actually this way, where the hooks are at the bottom, so you don't jam your fingers. It doesn't point your fingers. It's on the inside of the sole piece. So that's just the heads up. But honestly, it really doesn't really matter. Just Make sure you have your screen tie downs in so the screen doesn't move. I'll move this out of the way. I'll start moving things out of the way. So get that in. And then what I like to do next is actually let me move some of my tools out of the way here. And I just got this, you know, this Woobie pad for dogs. It just saves me some cleanup time. I like putting wires in. I'm just going to put 2 wires in. I'm going to put this on 2 different sides. You know, I'm not very critical about kind of the placement. I know some artists are very critical where they're putting their tie downs. Of course, they're putting more dramatic pieces. This is relative upright, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay. Draw that, put on that side, and put on that side. Okay. And so when I'm tying these down, they'll actually tie around the pot, or tying around the species. Okay. That's left that alone. This guy pops out of the pot. Okay, so Princess Persimmon, and I'll put this to the side. Okay, so Princess Persimmon's known to do this. If you look carefully, they have these roots and they just circle and circle and circle and circle the bottom of the pot. That's what they're commonly known. If you want to propagate these guys, these are pretty easy. You just get some root cuttings and they will actually make a new tree for you. I'm just gonna hand loosen this really quick. I didn't water this tree for about a couple days now because I knew I was going to repot. I just didn't know when. And this is looks like really fine akadama. Oh no, it's not akadama. Real fine, what do you call that? Oh, geez, it's not coming to me. Scoria, lava rock, and river sand. So right here, you've got a good clump right here. So I'm going to pull that off. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find that main root where it turns, and it's right here. Okay, I'm going to save this guy because this is kind of cool to keep. I can. That's one root. Think about that there. Look at that. Look at it. See, it just twines itself like that. So if you have any pieces that are kind of worth it, you can save that, put it on the side. It will come true to the same plant as this what we call asexual reproduction or cloning in this case. Okay. And what you're trying to do, like most of these are really like stiff fruitage. And once you get it untangled, I'm being really rough with it. It's this first repotting, so I can really kind of go at it. So most of these roots are right here. So they come down, they turn, and they circle. So if I cut it right here, here, I bet I'll start unraveling this whole monstrosity of a piece here. See, that comes down. You can see this comes down. I'm going to just cut those here. Okay. I'm sometimes more brutal than this. I would just come in and I would cut this whole thing off if I can find it. This piece, I want to keep this piece, so I'm going to pull it out. You can see they're already coming out here. And the fun part about repotting, sometimes you can go right at it and not worry about its rootage. Princess Persimmon, they're pretty tough. They will regrow its roots pretty quick. All right, so as I said, have a pair of scissors like that, like this. You don't really care if you get like chipped or stoned. Have a secondary pair. I have a couple pairs of shears now. This is on my last buying trip to with the Barretts. I needed another pair, so that's our core. I'm going to save this for root cuttings. I think that's for sure a clump. There's a clump there. So this, you can see this is a couple years worth. I'm gonna save this one. This is okay now as a piece, but I'm gonna save these pieces and I'm gonna propagate these pieces. I'm gonna put this back probably in a bucket, probably back in its own bucket over there. And I'll see what I can propagate out. And you can see they're just, I mean, they will root out really easily. So if you want to propagate, save it. If not, toss it, whatever you want to do. I'm just gonna put it back in its little container here. I'm gonna just, I'm not gonna throw it away. It's too hard to come by for me. So I like, oops, sorry. So I told you this is the point of view and knock you in real fun. I'm just gonna just leave that there, put that to the side. I'll come back to another time. I'm gonna look at my tree here and see any roots I need. So this tree, I'm gonna trim this root off. Okay, it's popping up. It's below the soil line. I might be able to force it down. I wonder if I can put it down. I think I can save it. That root's a really high root. Okay, I'm gonna cut that one off. It's a little too high. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is kind of looking at the rootage, seeing where my flares really starts right there. So let me open this up a little bit. And if this is an opportunity, if you want to move roots around, you can. It's brittle. So, I mean, some of these roots are very brittle. Some are very, see that one's surprisingly still movable, malleable. I think that's the correct word for that one. Okay, if you want to, and you got to really, so some of these long roots have shown up now. I'm just gonna kind of trim them back the best I can. Okay. Let's speed this up in the video. I'm looking for any masses that's in the rootage. It doesn't know rat masses. The front, again, is going to be right around here somewhere. Okay, make sure that's where that's where the cut was. Okay. So let me do a test fit. I'll just drop it in here. Okay. Right there, I'm going to pull that down. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, what do you think? What do you think that looks like? Okay. All right, so let me soil mix. I got a big tub here to the side if you not noticed. Okay. My mix is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Akadama. That's not Akadama. I don't know what that was. Akadama, scoria, and pumice. If you haven't bought your Akadama yet, you're in a bind because there is a supply chain shortage right now. If you did not know, you probably did. So I'm trying to make sure the roots are sit as short and as comfortable as possible. Let me shorten these really thick roots out. Anyway, I can move that one down. I like that. Root's not a bad spot. I just need to make sure it kind of behaves itself. Okay, I expect this tree to fill up this pot and roots in about 2 years. I'm just gonna make sure everything's kind of placed where I want to. The roots are a little too long. I just want to make sure there's enough feeding roots and enough that'll just fit in this pot comfortably, and I just need to repot in about 2 years. That's my hope. All right, so let me get around this camera really quick. Let me tie it down and we'll continue this really quick. Alright, we're back. So I had a chance to put my position of my tie down. Okay, so I got that guy down where that root is. Okay, I like that position. I got the angle. I like the angle, and I want, this is my front. I'll try to put it near front center here. And then I'm gonna tie down this other side. If you can see, I'm not sure if you can see. I hope you guys can see. While I'm doing that, I'm trying to maneuver some of these roots in the area I want. And, kind of filling in as best I can as I go. And what I'm trying to do is just good tie down. Sometimes they don't go your direction, you just kind of like, eh. Remember, these tie downs are kind of important. This is not what I call a finished tree, but a growing tree. Get this liner so I can get a little closer into it. Just gonna hold, this gives a chance that the pot or the tree can grow without its roots moving too drastically. So I'm just trimming off this root is going to be a problem. It just wants to pop up. Off it goes. And it's a little higher than I want. Next step is for me, let me zoom in really quick. Get a little closer. Next step, it was almost bare rooted, so I'm just making sure there's that's it. I mean, I'm gonna hose it down in the rain actually in a couple of minutes here. But that's, in a nutshell, that's a repotting. I usually, I'll water this down and I'll keep it pretty much in a frost-free area. I'll probably be living in my atrium for a couple weeks here until it warms up, and I'll take this guy, bad boy, outside, and that's it. So again, it's not too difficult to repot, especially when it's dormant. Let me turn this camera around. Well, I hope you guys enjoy the repotting. This is really quick. I'm just gonna hose this down, make sure the water kind of runs freely through the bottom, make sure it's clear, and then make sure this is in this case, in my case, a frost-free for at least 2 weeks. So it gets the roots a chance after being cut so severely. And then this stuff, I'll replant this guy, and let's see if I can get some free sproutlings to come out, and I'll start this process again. And then if I'm gonna do a couple more of these, I'm on a roll already, so I got another one to go, so I'm gonna go after this guy next. So if you guys like the refresher, like, subscribe. There's other videos on here you might enjoy. And until next time, see you guys. Thanks a lot.